Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, coming to you live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. We are so overjoyed that you've decided to join us once again. Won't you please help us influence the algorithm? We need some thumbs up today on whatever site you're watching us. We need you to like us, of course. Subscribe to us. Hit that notification button. So that subscription doesn't cost you a thing, but it does help us in our reach and does help us as we strengthen our position on the algorithm. If you believe that the On Point conversation is a benefit to you or would be a benefit to someone else, why don't you share this morning also and throughout the program? We'd love to hear from you either on the phone at our toll-free number, or of course you can reach us on Facebook, and Pastor Nick will interact with your comments at David G. Evans 1. We love to hear from you, love to talk to you. Our phone number is 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267, 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. You are tuning in to the number one Saturday morning Christian-based live call-in talk show in America. We're always talking from a biblical perspective. That's our foundation, and we believe, as we've said so many times before, in the Issacharian view from the Bible, understanding the times. Just because you're saved doesn't mean you don't have to understand the times. You have more of a necessity to understand the times, but also knowing what to do, knowing how to manage your life, knowing what to expect, how to react in the times that we live. And certainly there's a need for biblical wisdom as a guide to point us in the right direction, to exhort us, point us in the right direction in times like these, where it seems like the sands of life are totally shifting every other moment. We need to know where our steadiness is, where our rock is, where our strength comes from. But also we need wisdom for the time in which we live. So thank you for joining us on Point. Now, our world-famous co-host is with us again, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith. Hey, man.
Good morning.
What's going on?
Chilly day. Got yard sale today, too, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. Got yard sales today at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they're out there, man. They're coming.
Setting up.
People are setting up. And you see the game last night?
I missed it. I forgot it was on. I got caught up doing some other stuff.
I turned it off and turned on something else, but it was close.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think New York lost.
Pacers won. I told somebody they're going to win the series.
My problem is this.
They're going to win.
And I've said this about football, track athletes, any team sport, any individual sport. You cannot make a career of coming back from behind.
Yep.
It's not going to work every time. And I think they may have used up those coins for this season because they've come back from 20 down, which used to be 20 points down was not that much of a threat in the NBA. But now with the competition like it is, you can't get down that far.
No. And I think from Indiana, they have a more team-based game. They don't have the stars like New York does, but they'll run you up and down the court, and you have to have the stamina to keep up with them. And if you don't, you're in trouble.
And they can play.
Yeah, and that's what OKC, same thing. We always say the best team will beat the team with the best stars.
Absolutely.
You don't need to have a bunch of stars.
Just guys that can play that ball.
Yeah, just do your job.
And when they're talking in the interviews, they're talking about their team.
Yep.
You know, Charles Barkley last night, he said, that one guy, you only had one guy playing well in the first half. And the guy, and Halliburton acknowledged it. Yeah. He said, he said, did somebody say something at halftime? He said, yep. Well, he said, they admitted that the one guy was playing well. Yeah. We need to join the party.
And everybody started coming.
And they came out and started playing together.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah. OKC going to win the finals, though. So.
You think they are?
Oh, yeah. They're the strongest team. Their bench is putting up starting numbers. That's what I'm saying. They're the best overall or all-around team.
But then, who coaches the best?
That's going to be the thing. And then, in sports, you could be the best team during the regular season.
Get to the playoffs.
And championships.
It's coaching.
It's coaching. Mental is more important than the physical.
Got to be able to coach when you get to the finals.
And any given Sunday, that one day, that team can be better than you. You're the better team, but that one day.
Yeah, and they know that. So that coaching makes the difference, man. Yeah. They can just play all year long, but when it gets down to this one strategy against another.
And And that's why they're saying New York is having a hard time keeping up with them, because the New York coach likes keeping the starters in for long periods of time.
And they're probably worn out.
Yeah, Pacers are swapping people in and out and just running.
That's the way you keep people fresh.
There you go. So,
but if they take the starters out, they go down by 25.
They go down by 25 points, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, we'll see.
When are they on again? Somebody's playing tonight.
Sunday. That'll be OKC and Timberwolves. That should be. I like Ant-Man, but
they're getting exposed.
Yeah. Team.
They're getting exposed.
Team.
They're getting exposed.
It's hard scoring 30, 40 points every single game.
Charles Barkley said you can't do it.
Yeah. It's hard.
He said a star can't have 2 bad games in a row, but you can have 2, 3 phenomenal games in a row and it not mess with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your body wears down after a while.
You can't. Tired, man. Mentally or physically or both.
Yeah. Got to have a team.
You know, it's like, I guess the only guy, and this is going to start a conversation, Jordan seemed to have a button.
Yeah. I ain't want to say it because
he seemed to have a button.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how many games they were playing. Didn't matter how long he played.
Mm-hmm.
His fitness was out of this world.
Yeah.
But he had just
his competitive drive is insane.
Yep.
They said that he wouldn't, when they did like wind sprints during practice, he always had to win. He would not let he was that determined to be number one.
And it showed up in the game.
It showed up in the game. How you averaging in one finals like 40 points a game? Like
no down game.
No down game. Just
okay.
That's why y'all can miss him with all the rest of
He's singular.
Yes, very much singular.
He's singular.
very, very much so.
We don't have to have a GOAT conversation, but
I know.
I watch him. I watch LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. J, of course, is my generational favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But Jordan is singular in his uniqueness.
Yes.
And they said he could stay out all night and still come in and have a 40-point game.
Mm-hmm.
So how superior was he physically and mentally?
Yeah. He's singular focused, like that driven. It's all, not to say that he's this person.
Yeah.
But I'm just using this for context.
Yeah.
We talked about before in Godfather.
Yeah.
How when Vito killed Don Cheech, went home, hugged his family, his ability to compartmentalize.
Yeah, man.
I'm not saying Jordan is him killing people, but you get what I'm saying. That assassin mindset, you can compartmentalize and just.
Yeah.
You're that driven.
There's a few of us out there like that.
Yeah. I know.
So, 866-743-8267, 826-7866-74 Evans. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. We love first-time callers. Our legacy callers always call. So, I don't know where to start. I watched... I confessed to someone I was talking to yesterday that I think I'm watching too much news.
Yeah.
And this is why. To do this, we have to be informed.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, the way things are going nationally, internationally, I have to admit at times causes me some stress.
Yes.
That I'm avoiding looking at things that just are reminders.
Yep.
And then the other thing I think that's really strange about social media now is that you can do an entire video with nothing but still shots and use AI to give you a narrative that may not have any credibility at all.
None.
To the pictures or the images that you're seeing on the screen.
None. And people it's so crazy how this is the greatest generation where information is available to you. We have never seen information available at this scope, but we have less wisdom,
absolutely,
less knowledge, more gullible. It's confirmation bias. I'll go towards what I want to believe in. I won't research it, but because somebody says it, it must be true.
I saw a guy on national TV a day or two ago that says he gets all his news from social media. You can't do that.
And
because you can search for something. If you have a strange thought, you can search long enough and find somebody that will come into agreement with you about that. And then you start thinking that's general truth.
Yep. And we're seeing even with the news, sports news, regular news. Journalists used to be important.
Yeah.
Now they're bringing people on that can just scream, holler, debate, and present their viewpoint without a well understanding of the facts.
Maybe it's just me.
It's money.
You know what aggravates me? If someone on TV is asked a question and you come back with all this tangential nonsense and never address what I asked you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about this? What about... Wait a minute. Answer the darn question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything but what you asked.
Yeah. Because the networks know that debate is where the money is. And the more you debate, the more you argue, the more you do these things, the more people watch.
But what happened to wanting to know the truth and the answer to the question?
It's not important anymore.
Then people are willingly ignorant?
Yes. It's like this for the thing with the South African president coming and Trump bringing...
That was so... I laughed at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those pictures from? That's the
Yes.
first thing I said.
Yes.
I said, I wonder if that's COVID.
Yeah, right. It's from... They found their pictures from the Congo. They're not even from South Africa.
But here's the thing. Why didn't... Because the president of South Africa did ask, where are those pictures from?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was so busy trying to not alienate our president that he didn't realize he was alienated when he walked in the door.
Yep.
Now, it was wisdom that he brought some golfers with him.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's bringing folk, but I think it was a performance on our part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think, here's me. If I'm representing my country, it's okay. Let's use us for it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in a context where what we do is being unjustifiably criticized, I'm not kissing your butt just because you invited me.
Exactly.
I'm going to stand tall on who we are, what we stand for, and if you don't invite me back, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can remember being in one governmental level meeting after another, and things were said that were incorrect about the African American church. And I'm looking around at the other senior people like, okay, when's one of you guys going to say something? And when I realized no one was going to respond because they were content to be in the room, I'm like, I guess I won't be back. Can I have a word, please? You know, you don't know what you're talking about. You got this guy on your staff. You think because he's African American, he's an expert on the black church. He's not.
Right. Right.
So don't tell me what we're doing. Ask me.
But it's that confirmation bias, and to have Trump there and his whole Vance and a couple of, we've never seen that before, where you bringing all these people in when a major diplomat comes in.
Because they needed some people to substantiate the image, because what they did, and he admitted it on one hand, you know, they're white, we let them in, we expedited their process, boom, boom, boom. They were being oppressed. Okay, what's the difference between these folk and the oppressed people from other countries? That was my first thought. Okay, so you're substantiating why you brought these in. Tell me why these other people are not welcome. And they don't want to deal with the question. And that Caroline, whatever her name is, kept going back to the fact, you know, these people are being persecuted. Wonderful. What about the others that want asylum because they're being persecuted? Just fairness.
Just fairness.
But they don't want to answer those questions.
They don't want to answer the question. And let's qualify, what persecution are we talking about?
Well, they found out it's not anything like what they're saying.
Thank you. Because there's other people of different nationalities experiencing worse persecution in South Africa and more.
Well, here's the thing. It's easy to think that the South Africans are now being treated like they treated Mandela and all his people the years before. It's very easy to think that, because that's where their mindset is. They've yet to understand that people of color, as a rule, are not vengeful about history. They just want fairness in the present.
That's it.
That's as a rule. I'm not saying everybody's perfect. But as a rule, I think that's part of our problem in the United States. Folk think that if we're quote unquote in charge, we're going to do to them exactly what they're doing to people of different races now in the country. And it's not true.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's not true.
Nope. But they'll call those things reverse racism. Oh, you're taking it out on... No.
No.
But when you're entitled,
but
anything...
You taught me this.
Yeah.
I never forgot it.
Yeah.
When you're in charge,
Yeah.
equality feels like oppression. You taught me that.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
You taught me that.
You're entitled, so you feel like...
Look, now I don't like equal.
No.
I like superior better. That's what actually is happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't somewhat fault it. Like, for instance, like we look at our kids in this generation. They have a whole lot easier than us.
Oh.
So what they call pressure, we call something minuscule, or because we grew up under different circumstances.
What they call bullying,
yeah,
we call joking around with each other.
Right. Yes.
That's bullying?
Right.
You kidding me?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Were any blows exchanged?
Yeah. No. Was any blood? Anything?
Did they talk about your mother or something?
Right.
No, they didn't want me to play on their team. Perhaps you need to go home and practice a little bit in the driveway.
Yes, be better.
So you'll get chosen.
Yeah.
They're not going to pick you and you're going to cause them to lose. Come on.
Yeah.
It's like drafting an NBA player that can't play.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No.
And when they come into the real world and it smacks them in the face,
they can't take it.
They can't take it.
That's why grown folk are taking their mothers and fathers to personnel when they don't agree with their reviews. How would you look walking into personnel to go over your review? Yeah. I brought my mom with me.
That is so...
Are you kidding me?
So weak and so embarrassing, man. The thought would have never came up in my head.
Dad, can you come with me to my review? I don't agree with ma'am, you don't work here. Right. Your son is lazy. Yeah. You know, what happened to actually being pragmatic and honest with people? Right.
Can't handle it.
Why? Maybe you can help me. Why does this generation appear to be? I'm not saying everything.
Sure.
Why not strive to be better rather than ask for a concession?
Yeah. I think it goes back to we had to fight. We were taught growing up. Whether you like it or not, you have to be 10 times better than everybody else just to be validated. You tell them that now, oh, that's not fair, and that's not fair. We understood it wasn't fair, but you just took it, did what you had to do.
Yep. So you get ahead.
Yeah. What they say? Hard times make tough men. Tough men create easy times, and easy times creates weak people.
Wow.
That's somewhere how it goes.
Yeah.
And I think we've made it too easy. I'm talking about as a culture, not everybody. We made it too easy for generations and lied to them that everything is fine now and just do this and everything's going to work out. And we wonder why. To me, it's like this. It's okay to give your children a life you didn't have, but not at the expense of the wisdom, the responsibility, and the stress. You get what I'm saying? Just because I had to wear Bobos when I was growing up.
We want to give them a piece of fish that the bones have already been taken out of.
Yes.
We give them grapes with no seeds, fish with no bones, and certificates when you have not done well.
Absolutely nothing.
So parents are exhibiting their disappointments. I wasn't chosen. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. So I need my child to do this. And the child grows up with the same disability or dysfunction emotionally that the parent has.
Yep.
Because we don't want to make them better. We want to generationally continue our own complaint.
Yep.
That's so debilitating.
It is. I'm sure you do the same. I'm teaching my kids power of money. So one of my kids, we went on a trip. They forgot something. I said, I told you, make sure it was in your bag. Okay?
Absolutely.
This is coming out of your money. We went to the store and bought it. Give me your money.
That's right. Reimbursement. That's right.
Now, eventually, good kid. Got it back later.
Absolutely.
But in the moment, had to prove.
Lesson.
The lesson was, don't waste my money.
That's
don't
right.
waste your money.
That's right.
Be responsible.
That's right.
Because money doesn't grow on trees. We heard it every day.
Man.
Money doesn't grow on trees.
Heating the whole neighborhood.
Yep. Just
close
the window.
Oh. And now?
Now?
How come all the lights on in here? What's up?
Thank you. Right.
It might have gotten on our nerves.
Yeah.
But when you're not responsible, what's that? Maturity gives you an appreciation.
Yes.
For the very things you resented as a child.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you start paying for it, you see why you want the doors closed.
Yeah. All the lights off. And then you start telling people, this costs this costs, oh, I didn't know it cost that much. Yeah.
Make it too easy. So, 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. We got Derek from Camden. We got Tom from Fort Lauderdale. We've got room on our lines. We want you to give us a call, 866-743-8267, 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. Let's go to Derek. Hey, Derek, how you doing?
Hey, Bishop, how you doing
Derek,
today?
welcome to On Point. Boy, you sounding stronger every week, man.
Yeah. Hey, Pastor Nick, how you doing today?
Hey, man. How you doing?
What's on your mind this morning, son?
Listen, I was talking to my cousin the other day, and we was talking because she's in the rehab too. But, you know, she's in the rehab for something else. But, yeah, I'm doing stronger, and I'm walking a lot.
Yeah, good, good.
But when she was in the, when she was in her rehab, the house burned down and everything.
Oh my.
And, we was talking the other day, and I told her, I was like, Dad, why everything have to happen to both of us? You know what I mean? Because we both Williams. And I told her, I was like, I told her, as a child, as a baby, I never fell down the steps. But, and I asked my mom, did I fell down the steps? My mom said no. But,
you get grown, you get hit by a car, huh?
No. When you're growing up, no. When you're grown, it comes back on you.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm so glad you're sounding better and better, Derek.
Yeah. When you're a tiny baby, you never fell down the steps.
Yeah, but when you get grown, stuff starts happening.
Yeah, it comes back to you, right?
Yeah.
Everything comes back to you.
Yeah. Well, man, it's good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm doing better. I'm doing, better by the week.
Yeah.
That car was a reckless.
Yeah.
And what makes it so bad about it, the lady lives right around the corner from where I live at.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the lady lives right around the corner from me.
Wow. Well.
Yeah. I've seen her before.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't recognize her.
Yeah. Well, you have a great testimony, man.
Yeah.
And it's great hearing from you again. I'll see you tomorrow, right? I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Just tell everybody to keep praying for me. That's all.
Absolutely. See you tomorrow.
See you, man.
All right. Bye-bye. 866-743-8267. You may be wondering who Derek is and why we make time for him. It was only a few months ago that he was laying in hospital. No one thought he was going to survive. And then when he did survive, no one thought he was going to walk. We were going to have full use of his hands, his body, because he was hit by a car at night and left in the street. And God has raised him up. We prayed for him, spoke over his life, and God is raising him up. And he's sounding better than ever. He's looking better than ever. And he's got a new way of living.
Yep.
And we're just honoring God for that. Let's go to Tom from Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Welcome to On Point.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Pastor Nick?
What's up?
Doing fine, man. Welcome. What's on your mind this morning?
I can barely hear you, Bishop.
You can barely hear me?
Oh, I got you now.
Got me now? Okay, let me adjust this microphone. You got me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey, Bishop, I saw this thing with the guy from South Africa. And an interview afterwards, he said he knew when he walked in the room, he was being set up.
Wow. Yeah, because why do you need, 4 top-level officials to meet with one president? I've never seen that before.
This is new. It was always the president in person, not this whole Rubio and all them.
Okay. So if I'm going to lie, I need to bring 3-4 people that will support that, and that'll give us more credibility. But no one watching will be able to figure out that, I'm managing this outcome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And letting them talk to the president.
Letting them talk to the guy.
Vance and them disrespect the person that's your guest in the house.
Now, I didn't watch too much because it started getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Did Vance chime in again?
I believe Vance chimed in again. I don't know who else was on there. Yeah.
What did Vance have to say?
He just harped on the back of what was going on.
Okay.
I do know Trump got red in the face when the South African president said, I wish I had a plane to give you.
I didn't hear that.
He didn't.
He came back. He was sitting there 100%. Like an idiot, he went to it right in the end. He goes, well, Mr. President, too bad I
didn't hear that.
don't have a plane to give you. Trump was red in the face.
And the thing that's amazing about that is I never heard the guy raise his voice. He was always pleasant in his delivery. Even when he knew that what they were saying was not true about his country and about him. And so I don't know who, well, yes, I do. So Trump was trying to show loyalty to Musk?
Musk and all them, that whole.
Sure, looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's to me now. I'm ready to be corrected. To me, I need our president to be able to stand on his own 2 feet in a conversation with another world leader.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But why is it that when world leaders come to our White House, that it's like this gang up on them thing?
Yeah. Because
we're trying to prove you don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. There's no respect there.
No.
Okay.
0.
And I don't think that's good for us on the world stage. I don't think that's good for us.
No, it's not.
Okay. What else is going on, Tom?
Nothing much,
How's your governor doing?
He's out of the news a little bit now, but I don't know who he just saw in the Senate down here, but they're fighting him on everything, especially the thing with his wife. And she's catching a little bit of heck.
You think is it possible, Tom, they don't want more of the same thing?
I think so. I think this guy is Trump on steroids.
But and he'll probably influence his wife's policy and all?
Oh, I think she's the brains behind his policy.
Really?
Oh yeah. You see interviews with her. They're cut from the same stone.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 2 of a kind.
Well, they're locked at the hip. What's the Bible say? How can 2 walk together except they agree?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that fits them exactly.
Okay. Wow.
Another thing, Emily, you do some Bishop. To me, it was a blessing in disguise years ago. I worked for a company, and I got laid off and went to Lockheed, which for me was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
But that company was right there in New Jersey. We made outlet strips for everybody. Sears, Penny's, Montgomery Ward, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm telling you this story is that I made pretty good money there. I was able, I don't remember what I made. But I can tell you at that time, I had a new Grand Prix and I had a decent house in Clementon.
Okay.
And I wasn't struggling.
Okay.
We go to work on a Monday, the plant is closed. And the reason I'm telling you this story, it wasn't because Mexico did something. It's because the owners figured they can make more money by moving the plant to Mexico.
Wow.
It had to do with tariffs.
Wow.
you know, we came in that Monday. It was all in the news. How they, you know, and I remember they were paying them 73 cents an hour with no benefits. But that was 300 people now put out of work. Nothing to do with Mexico trying to take. It had to do with
capitalism.
You know, Americans.
Capitalism.
Yeah. And that's what's going to happen with Apple. Apple's just told the president they're going to move out of China to Indonesia. And he says, well, I'll catch you there. And the crazy part about that is Trump's right and wrong. You know what I mean there?
Going to do what?
Trump is right and wrong. What I mean is he should give them a hard time about not coming back to the U.S., but he's going about it the wrong way.
But, I mean, and I'm all for making it in the United States, but they can't make the profit here that they can make in another country.
There you go.
So the iPhone will go up to $3,200.
Yep.
If they do it here.
It's not you can't.
You can't.
And that I don't know why they thought that shipping all the migrants away was going to cause people here to want to go work in the fields for the same thing. You know, so what happens? So you hire a regular American who has never worked in the field, don't think about the downtime that's going to have to happen for them to learn how to harvest the crops, especially the ones that cannot be harvested by machine. And then they're not going to work for minimum wage. So what happens? You and I end up paying a higher price when we go into the store for a variety of reasons. So it's really short-sighted seeing, thinking, and strategizing.
Bishop, and you know, people are naive to the fact, not just farm crops, but roofing your house, washing your car.
Absolutely.
Cleaning your home, all those things.
Absolutely. At the car wash I've been going to for 20 some odd years. Immigration came through and wiped them out about 4 years ago. They had to go 50% automated. 50% automated. And they got some folk in there that quite honestly don't do the job the people they deported used to do. Do not. Do not. When I got to get out of my vehicle, say, can you do this, 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 and this? I'm working too much. I need a part-time job
to do it.
At your car wash, man. Come on.
And here's the other thing, too. Trump, for years, had his clothes made in China, outsourced some of his stuff in other countries, and now all of a sudden it's America first.
He may still be having his ties and stuff made over there.
I think the Trump Bible that they took is made in China.
Absolutely.
I remember years ago, before he was into politics, he was on Letterman, and he was the Trump tie and the Trump, all this Trump stuff. And Letterman jokingly goes, hey, where's this stuff made? He said, oh, China.
His daughter's clothing line, the majority of that, from what I understand, was made in China. Because you can get it there, lower price, and then you can get it here and charge it like you were making it here. Well, what you gonna do, Tom?
I'm gonna leave you with this one. When Biden was son was supposed to be doing things in Ukraine, which was in the $1 million range.
Right.
Trump's kids are doing $1 billion deals over in the Middle East, and nobody seems to be saying a word.
I don't understand. I understand politicians' number one concern, the top three concerns: get elected, get elected, get elected. I understand that. I understand that's their number one concern. But at what point in your employment do you say to yourself, I've lost myself? But it appears as though these people have no basement. They just dig a deeper hole. And the thing that's bothering me is when they're responding to these questions, they all get this maniacal blank look. And I realize it's because they're reciting something, not necessarily feeling something. it's almost like they're seeing the text, but they come back with just this mind out of mind response, and it's always distract.
Yeah.
Over here.
Bishop,
what about this?
Yeah, they know they're lying.
Yeah, you said something earlier, and I try to look at the morning shows later on Sunday and some of the shows,
Mm-hmm.
and you never hear a politician answer a question directly.
No, because the question, number one, they're being watched and they're afraid they're going to be disapproved of. Mm-hmm. So even if it embarrasses them, they have to say something that they think will be approved of by the people that they serve. So they're not allowed they're not allowed to give their opinion.
Are held accountable a year later.
Mm-hmm. You know, but then here's the part. They will deny something that they're presently doing and then say later on when somebody plays the tape, that's out of context. I'm not here to talk about that today. Why don't we look forward? Let's not look back. I mean, but if somebody else does it, hair's on fire. Mm-hmm. You know, this is the worst thing in the world. They're going to bring the whole government down with this action or this thing they just said or did. It's so ambiguous, Tom, that it's nauseating.
Yep.
Yeah. I look at a Rubio right now, who out of all the cabinet members, I thought was the one that may, be, I don't know what I want to say. But,
he's not DEI.
Yeah.
Out of the whole group. He's not DEI out of the whole group.
Yeah, but when it came to voting on immigrants, he fell in line considering his family, his parents were immigrants who they wanted to throw out. I guess he forgot how he got here. You know what?
There's a callousness. I saw a guy that I know yesterday. I won't name him, but he voted against things that would disadvantage his parents, his girlfriend, and his quote-unquote friends. Mm. And that emotional thing, somebody finally sees me and hears me, overrides any concern, any humanity they have for other people. And maybe this being a Christian has caused me to have concern for others. But I remember having compassion before I got saved, because I saw my mom and my grandma display, my granddad, my uncles, my aunts display what I didn't know at the time was Christian compassion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They cared about what happened to other people. Yeah. So the neighborhood was a concern of theirs, not just our house. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that, okay, we're okay, the rest of them are going down the tube. It was, no, we can't let all of them go down the tube, and this is bad even if it's not happening to us. That's the way I was raised. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're missing a lot of that.
It seems to be non-existent. We got to let you go, Tom.
Hey, Bishop, I have to ask this. Mm-hmm. OKC or Indiana?
OKC.
He's going OKC. What are you doing? Who are you picking?
OKC.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Their strongest team.
Now, what's his name is back on OKC's team, right?
Who?
The guy I thought was a little wacky, but he played. Westbrook. Where's he?
No, he's in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
He's in Denver?
He's in Denver.
Okay, yeah. Okay, they got knocked off.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were
Hey, have a great holiday weekend.
You too, man.
See ya.
They were unceremoniously knocked off.
Yeah, which is crazy. Then firing your coach right before the playoffs. I'm usually wait till after the season.
What sense does that make?
Yeah. Well, I think from the reports he was too hard on some of the people, some of the guys. But they won a championship, though. I mean, I don't know if it's all true. It's just reports.
Well, they got kicked out of the playoffs, so evidently it wasn't the best decision. Okay. All right, now, let's see what else we got here. We had a few more minutes. It's 9:43. 866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We love to talk to you. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Give us a thumbs up. Share us. Like us. Subscribe to us. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss another conversation. So, maybe I'm being a little too sensitive. How do grown people with children pass a bill that takes food out of children's mouths. How do grown people do that?
Because it's not affecting their children. That's my thought. That's the only thing.
How do you, with glee, pass a bill that you know is going to kick 13 million people off of their medical care? Perhaps another few million won't be able to get medical care because of pre-existing conditions and all that kind of stuff. How do you impact 20 million people's lives with your decision while you have one of the best health plans in the world?
And then throw it back on there. Well, it's the state's job to take care of its people, not the federal government.
That is the most bogus. You represent people from the state.
Exactly.
How does McConnell have the poorest state in the nation?
And one of the richest senator, whatever congressman out there.
He's got money.
He got a lot of money.
But the people that he serves are they're in poverty. Consistently, and they keep electing him for the past 20 some odd years.
Yep. And those states that need federal help and Trump and them are telling them no.
A lot of them are red states.
Thank you. We voted for you. And they're like, so? Sorry. Like they're all the FEMA cuts.
Yes.
And all that.
Yes.
With all these hurricanes and tornadoes and
stuff.
They have a lot more in red states than in blue states.
Well, maybe because they're just... I personally think that they overplayed their hand this time. I think but I saw some African Americans on TV yesterday who are oblivious to what's happening to the rest of black folk. I saw a guy tell Van Jones, he said, "Why did you vote for President Trump?" He said, "Can I curse on this without getting He said, "Yeah, you can curse if you want to." He said, "I voted for him because he was an a-hole." He said it on national TV. He said, and the guy said, "What do you mean by that?" Well, he says what's on his mind.
Yeah.
He said, well, what about what he says?
Right.
I just like the fact that he says what's on his mind.
To them,
same maniacal look right around here.
Yeah.
I'm buried in this absolutely illogical thought, and all I can do is repeat substantiate what I know sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. It's that whole thing. Well, politicians are lied to us. They can't be trusted. At least he tells us the truth. Just because he speaks his mind doesn't mean what he's saying is true.
Or good for you.
Right. Just come on.
I'm looking at him like, what? And then this other lady who's engaged to a guy that's in the police process right now, going to be a policeman soon, which is a great thing. She was talking about the occasional tragedy that happens that basically should not impact the way we see life with the police. And, we're all pro police officer, fireman here. We don't have a problem. But you can't say, I believe she's one of these people that if it hasn't happened to her family yet, it's not a problem.
Yeah. And there's always a reason why that had to happen.
But I still don't see the I don't see the integrity in 8 officers with guns and tasers beating up one individual with nothing but themselves in their hands until the person dies. How can you tell me that was right? You have guns, tasers, batons, and there's 6 of you. And you say that action was okay. How do you look at the tape and justify that?
There's no justification of it. They should be able to do what they got to do to stop these. But you know what? You said it before to people in Texas. If you bring up this idea of how bad crime is, you are willing to let people go over the line to make you feel safe. Fear is a great tactic to get people on your side.
Yeah.
As bad as it is,
politicians use it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But until it's them, then it's like, oh, you're being rough with me. It's like the people at the insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Blue lives mattered until January 6th.
Absolutely.
I'm like, don't tell me they matter anymore when.
But you can't tell me that now.
You know, come on now. At that day it didn't matter.
Evidently not.
And then to them, the police officer crossed the line by killing Ashley Babbitt and da-da-da-da. But wait a minute. If it's true over here, it's got to be true over here too. Like
I don't like bringing up this comparison, but do you think if a Black Lives Matter rally turned into an invasion of the Capitol,
they wouldn't have got inside?
It would be a tour?
No.
Okay.
They wouldn't even got inside.
I'm just you know, I've been to the White House.
Mm-hmm.
You know, feces doesn't end up on the wall by accident. You got to try to put it up there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get over in senators and congresspeople's offices by accident.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put your feet up on their desk and that kind of stuff. You don't bring those things to tie people's wrists with. That doesn't look like a tour.
Nope.
But grown men looked into camera and said, well, it looked like a tour to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then have Trump release most of them from prison.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if it was Black Lives Matter and Kamala Harris got elected and got them out of prison?
It would be the worst thing since the crucifixion of our Lord.
Right. First off, they wouldn't even have made it in the building.
That's right.
They'd have called the military so fast, it would have been a problem.
Yep.
It's like, don't tell me there is no privilege out there.
Well, if Barack Obama said, I need you all to go over to the Capitol and we need to fight, just those words alone, he would have been accused of inciting.
Yep. Treason, everything.
Their hair would have been on fire on the way.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay.
Yep.
Don't tell me everything's the same, because it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
So look here. What's this about Israeli embassy staff members killed near Jewish Museum in D.C.?
Yeah.
That was a hit.
That was a hit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's related to this whole Palestine-Israel thing.
It's got to be.
It has to be. It's spilling over. Yeah.
So a Georgia hospital, and we're pro-life, I don't know how many times we've said this, is requiring a brain-dead woman to carry a fetus to birth due to the state's abortion ban. How pregnant is she?
I think has like another 2 or 3 months to go.
So they're going to keep her alive in hopes that the fetus survives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And here's the interesting thing. Again, we're pro-life to the core.
That's right.
They didn't ask the family about what they wanted to do. Who's paying for this? Because that's expensive. So now they're going to put the bill on the family, or the state's going to pay for this. Because look, if you've been to the hospital, you know 1 night in the hospital is a lot. Imagine a couple months.
Go to emergency and they send you home and look at the bill.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not overnight.
Not overnight.
Just stay in there a couple hours and let them send you a bill.
There you go. Yep. And then what the family has to go through.
Okay.
You know, that's hard enough to have to keep going up to the hospital and knowing that, you know, the guy's spouse is brain dead and just that's hard enough.
That's terrible.
In general.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
We've got Evangelist Snow. Looks like a new caller from Delaware. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Welcome to On Point.
Hello.
Wonderful. I just wanted to say to tell somebody, it doesn't matter what Trump do or anybody do. I always remember the word of God when the Israelites was in bondage and crying out to God. God said he heard them. But God chose not to do anything at the time they were crying out. But he did do something even though it's 400 years later. So I'm just staying on the fact. I'm just waiting to see how it all turns out. Because I believe God is who the word say he is.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and also I've had some thoughts along the line that we've already begun to see the hand of God move because, one of the things there's a couple of things God really doesn't like, and one of those is when you oppress innocent people. And they're doing evil, and they say they're doing it in the quote-unquote name of the Lord. So I think that we're going to see the hand of God start to move in situations. I'm not surprised at all that Mr. Musk lost $200 billion. I'm not surprised You know, they say he's really scrambling right now, trying to get things together. But you cannot mistreat people.
You can't.
Intentionally mistreat folk and think God is just going to close his eyes. You can't.
You can't.
He does not ignore that. He talks about how loving your neighbor as yourself is one of the 2 commandments that combines all the other ones together.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So when we are hating our neighbor, you know, we're breaking half of the 2 that he said you got to do this.
The most important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it can't go unnoticed.
Amen.
Who's your pastor, evangelist?
Pastor Kathy Phillips, Wilmington.
Oh my goodness! Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing
I call my daughter Bills.
Bills?
Yeah, I call her Bills.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Y'all too. Well, y'all have a good day.
You too.
Hi, Pastor Nick.
Hi.
All right.
God bless you, daughter.
Bless you.
Bless y'all. All right, bye-bye.
Interesting. So I got a question for you, Pastor. Why do you think it appears as though that the Republican Party is willing to risk the midterms just to get this stuff out front?
Yeah. Think it's part money?
Okay.
Because they're making some money now.
Okay.
Part hubris.
Okay.
They think they got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to push stuff through as fast as they can, make stuff work. But I do believe that part of them believe this is America's resurgence. You hear them talking about this. This is America's resurgence. We're finally going back.
That's not going back. To what, though?
To their version
Okay.
of what they think America should be.
So all this pain they're causing. And it's funny how they say, you know, there may be some discomfort, but not theirs.
Not theirs. Yep.
So they will sacrifice the comfort of millions of people to give some people some more money.
Yes. Yep. Because people keep thinking if this spending bill goes through, they keep thinking these tax cuts is for the regular everyday working people.
Not.
It's not. It's going to benefit people. You may never make the kind of money they're making.
Look,
right.
I don't know too many people that make $500,000 a year.
Exactly.
I don't know too many people that make $250,000 a year. So they're not talking about us. Okay. We're coming up on the end of another program. I just needed your wisdom on that.
Yeah.
We are having a phenomenal flea market yard sale here at our church today, beginning at 10 o'clock. 10:30. 10 o'clock, 10:30?
I think it's 10 o'clock. Yeah.
10 o'clock. You can come, get some marvelous buying opportunities. You can come out and have great fellowship. You can meet a bunch of great people. There may be some room for vendors. I don't know still. But I know we had a lot of people sign up. When I pulled up this morning at 8:25, people were setting up their tables. I would advise you come by. If you love yard sales or you love flea markets, you need to be out here today. So we'll be here from 10 until it's over. We want to invite you to come and see us. Our bookstore will be open today, so you can get the resources that you need. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. is our virtual service, watched around the world. 11 a.m. service is our live service, watched around the world. But you want to be in the house. You don't want to miss what it's like to experience worship here with us and all that God does through us every week. If you are interested in receiving updates on our activities, text BBC News to 28950. If you find yourself a little low during the week or during the day and you need an uplift spiritually, text BBC Elevate to 28950. Now, everybody can pray by themselves in some form, but we want to pray with you. So send your prayer requests so we can come into agreement with you. Send it to prayer@gotobethany.com. That's prayer@gotobethany.com. As always, we want you to subscribe to our David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube. That'll get you to all of our content. Those things were really in some great series lately. You're going to really be blessed by them. Also, we need you to subscribe to our podcast platforms, DGEMS, David G. Evans Ministries, and On Point. As always, thank you to all our callers. You continue to make our program a success. Tell somebody about us. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans, and remember this: faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. Why don't you take a ride tomorrow? Come on down to Lindenwold, New Jersey. You've driven further to get in trouble, stayed a lot longer. Come on and have service with us at 11 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you. We're in a great series called Success Through Support. It's really making a difference in all of our lives. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Stay strong.